Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a Red Stars promotion guide in regards to some of the best characters right now that you can feel free to invest in outside of legendary characters such as the Horsemen, because you do need the dark promotion credits, and as well as those characters featured such as Dormammu, Doctor Doom, so forth, right? So we're really focused on these silver promotion credits as well as the golds that ultimately allow us to push to Red Stars 5 and beyond. So that said, which are the top characters and recommendations? Let's get right into it. First and foremost, I really do think Squirrel Girl is really in one of the top 10 teams of the game, with her being in the fellow Young Avengers. But the main reason you want to bring up her Red Stars is that her direct affiliation with the Red Stars actually increases her potency of healing. You can see all of the Young Avengers and as well as members of the team, they get additional HP based on her max HP percentage. So that said, the stronger Squirrel Girl you have, the more potent her heals will be, and therefore lasting into longer into battle, right? Her Young Avengers team is needed as well for the Rogue, Famine, Scourge, and as well her team is used in all game modes. So it's really nice to have such a strong healing supportive character. I also brought her into Dark Dimension 5, and she worked wonders, especially for those city nodes. One of the best characters that we can also get early in the game is Xiang Chi, available via Blitzdor, but not just that, he has such high potency and damage. He's got sustainability and healing. So for him, damage overall increases as well based on his Red Star. So by having a higher Red Star statistical boost for him, his Way of Fury ultimate ability is absolutely just going to crit and do some devastating damage, especially when it scales with the number of positive buffs per target involved. So I mean, it really does make sense. By maximizing his abilities, he can do a lot of damage and as well reducing turn meter. One of the best plug and play characters in the game, and as well, like I said, early for new players, accessible through the Blitzdor, and just used in all game modes as you progress in your journey. Newest character this year in terms of that strike team, supposedly, but Spider Weaver also required for the unlock of Apocalypse, which has been confirmed by Scopely and staff. But everything she brings to the table, absolutely recommend. As you guys can see, I got lucky with the 7 red there through the orbs, but I mean, all of her abilities are just so powerful, and the Red Stars really increases her damage, her overall supportive capabilities. As you can see, she even provides a heal for herself and Tangle Webs based on the percentage HP as well. So everything just works in tandem together, increasing her overall offensive capabilities and supportive capabilities. So definitely a top 5, top 10 character in the game. Right now, she's one of the best characters to be utilized in any plug and play for the arena meta, just because of her ultimate here and being able to actually land those charges and prevent enemies from actually being able to strike the team. Consistent with her special as well, which also does the same thing, but just less charges. Captain America Sam, definitely hands down one of the best supportive protectors in the game. I like bringing him because he's part of that Secret Avengers meta that's needed for the Doom raids, but as well, you can actually get him in the mid game as you progress through the Doom raids. For Captain America Sam, his capabilities and his supportive skills, right? Really, his freedom flight, being able to, increase the fill speed bar for himself and the rest of the team, especially if they're skilled allies. But additionally, his special is very powerful, granting energy, granting deflex encounters, and gaining the taunt to protect the team. These supportive capabilities on Captain Sam really allow him to thrive later on in a plug and play. Even if he's away from his Secret Avengers, he's going to be a character that will have, really long mileage just due to the fact that he's in that supportive role and can be slotted into multiple team dynamics. And having a stronger Red Star on him is going to increase those stats as well as his tankiness and overall just his supportive capabilities. Another great one is overall Omega Red. I can't say enough good things about Omega Red's abilities. He's a crowd controlling machine. I brought him into Dark Dimension 5 and he absolutely crushed it, especially in the legendary nodes and the initial nodes. Mainly, key thing, like a lot of his abilities actually scales with HP. So his basic, stealing 10% raw HP, his special ability, having an ability block, also stealing HP, bypassing heal block. His ultimate ability, again, applying heal block, ability block, so forth, as well as being able to have that strip of the speed bar, and again, reducing the HP by percentage base. Every one of his attacks is always going to be the same, consistent going forward. This is an offensive character that, regardless of the time, because it's percentage based, he's going to have the same effectiveness across all enemies in the future. And for that reason, it really does make sense to build him as high as possible, just due to the versatility of his skills and what he can bring to any plug-and-play team, but as well as the synergy with his fellow Weapon X, which remains to be a top 5 team in Cosmic Crucible and as well as War. Cersei, part of that Eternals squadron of dual dynamic with Icarus. These two are a power dynamic duel. So honestly, I wouldn't recommend bringing them up unless you have both of them at a pretty comparable level. Otherwise, they both don't really, shine without each other, right? Cersei specifically, having her more tanky, being able to activate her ultimate so that she can actually cleanse. But for her specifically, she also actually has a special ability here that scales with the percentage of her health, providing a barrier for her and as well as Icarus. So having higher red stars is going to increase their overall survivability and ensure that team is going to be successful in the future. And I already touched on it earlier, but Icarus, again, he's needed here, right? His abilities is going to scale, his damage is going to scale all the red stars abilities, especially having his ultimate that can actually flip everything. Having the ability to flip positives to negatives and dealing damage based on that is going to be a very, very useful feature in the future, especially because this doesn't scale specifically with the enemy strengths. It's the number of buffs, and in the any kind of enemy or team you're up against, generally buffs are the reason that there's an advantage, right? Having that feature in play, Icarus and Cersei will always have the edge, and so it really does make sense to boost their red stars up together. But again, I wouldn't recommend it individually. Icarus definitely more important than Cersei because of his abilities, but you need the two together in the team to shine truly. We also have Gambit here, being the second most important member of the Unlimited X-Men team next after Rogue, really being the fact that he does a lot of the bulk of the damage. His passive attacks, especially with pick a card here, every attack he's able to scale and actually deal damage to the enemy passively, and that's absolutely huge, guys. Having that capability, providing the additional damage, especially to the most injured enemy with piercing, it's really going to scale with the number of red stars that he has, so it really makes sense to boost him up to additionally assist in damage output next to Rogue, as well as the Unlimited X-Men potency. And I really love the fact that now he's available in Cosmic Crucible, so it makes him really easy to access now, especially given how powerful he is right now in the game. Agatha Harkness, she has to be on this list because of the fact that she directly counters both Cersei and Icarus, especially that powerful dynamic duel, right? Her ultimate ability, RuneScape, attacking all enemies, but specifically targeting the stuns on the highest Hero Mystic Blaster and Hero Mystic Controller, makes it so that in the future, this is a very future-proof ability. Only setback, however, is her high energy cost here, as you can see, being 10, but you can see, additionally on top of that, she heals herself and allies for 35% of her max HP, as well as a barrier. For that reason, it really does make sense to boost up her red stars as much as possible to give her that supportive capabilities for a team, while also still dealing that crowd controlling aspect. Being the second most important member of the Darkhold, it really does make sense to boost her up as high as possible as well. That said, guys, those are my top recommendations right now in terms of what I would recommend using your elite credits as well as the gold elites. These are some of the best characters in the game. Highly, highly recommend. Even if you're starting out early in the game, mid-game, if you land on any of these characters, feel free to invest in them because of the fact that they provide so much value in all game modes, and they are looking to stay for quite a while in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick and brief video in terms of the top red star promotion recommendations. Thank you as always. Catch you guys in the next one.